Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us again today. This is going to be our last episode of Coach and Go for the year, so we've got something special planned. But before we get started, I do want to remind you, if you've not done so yet, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you ring the bell, you'll be notified anytime that we have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also follow us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey, and make sure to like and follow our Group Travel Odyssey Facebook page as well. That's it for social media for right now. But today, as I said, we've got something special planned. We're going to talk about our favorite things in GTO. Now, who better to do that than our entire team? So let's bring everybody on screen right now. We've got Dana, we've got Corey, we've got Brian, we've got Sierra, we've got Kyle, we've got Angelica, and we've got Kara. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
So this is rare that we do this, but this is, as I said, this is going to be our last episode of the year. And we thought it would be a good time for us to talk about what we love about GTO, what makes GTO special to us, and most likely special to our members, our member companies as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about those things today. And each of us has something that we kind of really are jazzed about. So we'll actually start getting into that. I wanted to start things off. I love the fact that our system is fully integrated, which means that our members basically can type something in and it follows throughout the entire process. So I like not having to waste time. So if it's like, if I put a trip name in and I have to put the dates and everything else, I don't want to have to do that more than once. I just want to do it, work on the trip, have operations work on the trip, have group accounting work on the trip without them having to do that again. So that is my favorite part of it, app integration. And it's funny because as we continue to develop apps, whether it's like Passenger Manager or things like that, it still takes all of that information and transfers it to the new application or the new process that you're going to be working on. Any other insight on integration and app integration that we have?
Yeah, one of the things that I really like about it is that things push through, but it does mean sometimes that you have to rethink about what you're doing. Like it used to be, you entered that in much later, and now you're entering it in earlier, saving you time later. So you have to remember that it's going to save you time much later, even though you're entering more items in at one time.
Yeah.
But like once you add a product to something, you don't have to keep writing that product down or doing that. It's just a cool process all around to think that I don't have to create new things in accounting. I don't have to create new things in operations. I remember a company used to have folders they passed around. They used to have to rewrite everything once the trip was sold. And I think, why do that? Yeah. So the information's already there. So I agree that it's a cool feature.
Well, and also the thing that's nice is the sales team, as they're putting something together, they'll put the products in. When it comes time for operations to deal with those products, all the information that they need for that product is there. So they can go ahead and they have the contact and the phone and the email and all that information and the pricing. They don't have to look for it again. So not only is it taking the information that you type, but it's taking all of that stuff that we have in our system and pulling it from process to process. So it's there, functionally there for everybody to use. So that's my 2 cents. That's my favorite thing for this year. But let's see, Dana, what is one of your favorite things about the system?
One of my favorite things about the system is definitely the copy feature, which it allows you to copy information automatically that you already have in the system. Whether if you have a pricing, you can copy it and it automatically carries over the information that you had from a previous year. And so all you need to do is put in minor updating in the system. You don't have to retype information and start over from scratch. You can also copy supplier information in full that actually transfers over product and pricing. So if you have multiple restaurants, attractions that are the same name, just different locations, you can use that feature to copy all of the information and again, just do minor updates in detail. So it saves a lot of time and it helps you be more efficient, and you can just go back and check, all the other information that you have. And it's just a great feature. And I know that it's offered on the other platforms, Sales Manager and Trip Manager as well, that our members can use to help them save time when they're creating trips.
Oh, definitely. It's nice because as they're creating the trips, they can copy and paste an entire proposal that they've used before and put it over, or they can use template trips and bring something from a template. Like if they've got a 3-day DC trip and they've got their template for 3-day DC, they copy that and add it to an actual trip. They're basically done at that point. So right. I agree. That's a good one. Very good.
Yeah, and they can also do it with products, which is where most people forget to do it, is right. When they're adding trip products and they want to add five breakfasts to a trip, they forget they can copy that one 5 times. That's a feature in there. I agree. That's a cool feature.
Right.
Cool. And let's see, Sierra, what do you think?
I have a lot of favorites. Besides everybody on the screen. My favorite part about GTO. Something unique to my role and me and my team, which you heard from Dana, Kyle, you're going to hear from. Those are, we 3 complete the Accuracy Guru team. You've heard from all of us individually, I'm sure, via your supplier request, but might not have seen their faces. So hello from us. But me and my team can see something that no members can see. Not even the heads of the companies. We have a field that is hidden that allows me to see when you add any price to a proposal. And why I like this feature is if something happens with a supplier or price, meaning maybe the supplier closed, maybe the price increased significantly year over year, maybe that menu offering was totally eliminated from that particular supplier going into 2025. We've seen that happen this year with a couple of different big suppliers where the youth menu was eliminated, something like that. I actually have a field that I can get in, see all of the proposals that it was used in, and I actually email each company individually a link to the trips that it affects. Many of you have gotten an email from me directly. If not, the head of your company has, and then probably distributed the information. And I think that's a very unique feature. I love the ability to, be able to keep everybody informed, and especially just, year over year, if we're looking at a 10% increase, you might want a little notification that you've got a trip. And if you book by December, you're going to save some money. And so it's stuff like that I have the ability to get that information out. That's my favorite feature.
Well, also one of the things I think that Sierra didn't mention as well is that she can take all of that information. Like if there are 20 proposals that are using a price, there are times where she has gone and advocated for all of our members back to the suppliers to say, hey, these are 20 trips, 20 groups that you may lose because you're trying to raise your pricing when you shouldn't be raising your pricing. So there are a lot of things that the entire Accuracy Guru team does just to make sure that you're getting the best deals that there are out there. So kudos to you guys, because we have over 25,000 suppliers, their products, their prices, everything in the system. And that's a lot to update every year. And as well as updating, we continue to grow the system as well. So, Sierra, Dana, Kyle, kudos to you guys, because that is truly astounding, the amount of work that you guys do with that. So there's my 2 cents again. And I want to also introduce somebody from my team, Angelica, who is the another one of the sales and member engagement specialists, managers, people that we have here with, as we say, most of us have anywhere between, we have a couple of decades of experience. Let's just put it that way, in the sales department. So
just a couple.
Well, some of us have a couple. So, but I wanted to bring Angelica on and ask what is one of your favorite parts of this? You've been with us, year and a half, coming up on 2 years, and so what is one of your favorite parts of GTO?
I mean, I'm biased because I came from the tour operator world, and so one of the reasons that I joined the company was because I was so blown away by what it was able to do. And so I really like a lot of the features. But I think the thing that took me the most by surprise in terms of, holy smokes, this can change the day-to-day life of tour operator business the most, is when you enter Trip Manager for the first time, which is our version of operations. And you have a screen that comes up with all of your trip products, your proposed trip products, and it comes time to booking those. And we have it set up so that it moves from hot colors to cold colors as you maneuver through each step of the process. And so, in color-coded red is, confirm product, and then moving to yellow it is reconfirm, and then in blue is update head count, and then green is complete, and so on and so forth. And so this idea that each of those steps is coded in a specific color and is really spelled out to you really eliminates any double work, any mistakes. It puts you on a timeline, a task list. It sends you reminders. And it's so intuitive and so self-explanatory and so clear, because I think the waters can get really muddied in operations, especially when you're on tight timelines, when head counts change up and down at the last minute, when venues close. And so this idea that it's really spelled out for you when you're dealing with probably one of the most high stress factions of working with a tour operator is the thing that I like the most, probably.
That's cool. And, you were saying, tasks and things like that with it, we can preload a lot of that stuff. So, if it's something that they do on every single solitary trip, we load that in so they don't have to load it each time, so there are reminders that we have built into the system, thanks to our fabulous development team, that allows even more efficiency, with what you're doing. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of being a fly on the wall on demos is the look on operations face when we get to that part. Angelica and I have done some demos here recently where the operations department, well, that's really cool. And I that's always nice to see and hear, but I think you're right. And then the reminders in the system are actually very cool as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And moving on, next we have our onboarding specialist, the other person in our business development team. So, Kara, what is one of your favorite parts of GTO this year?
So similar to Angelica, I came from the tour operator world, but managing tour directors. And a couple of features in GTO I really enjoy is our On the Road app and then our tour director portal. The On the Road app is a great tool for member companies who use our system to manage their tour directors. They're able to assign them to trips. They're able to see their availability. They're able to provide them with electronic tour director packets. I remember when I was in that world, mine was downloading PDF documents to an email. And anytime a change was made, I had to email that change. And the thing that's really nice in the On the Road is when you make a change, what ends up happening is it shows up in the tour director portal, and the tour director portal is for the tour director specifically. And so that's another really nice feature. The tour directors can log into the portal. They can see trips that they've been requested for. They can keep their availability current. They can keep their personal information like their address, their phone number, emergency contacts, what shirt size they wear. If companies give out, apparel, They can see their tour director packets when if they are assigned to a trip when they're released. Even a preliminary itinerary before they choose to accept that trip, they're able to see. And then the other thing that's nice on the tour director portal is the tour directors can even see like past trips they worked on, which is sometimes nice, especially, if a tour director is like, I don't know if I liked that trip last year, they can always go in and see, or vice versa. But I think both of those things are really nice and they work really well together. So, on the road tour operator managing their tour directors, and then the tour director portal for the tour director to be able to see all of their tour director information. So I find those to be really nice features.
Absolutely. And just to let everybody know, all of our members know, there is a partnership that we have now with IATDG. So you're going to be seeing and have access to more tour directors that if you're having trouble finding tour directors in a specific location, you are going to have a database of tour directors that have been vetted that you can use. So, take a look in there and see what you can find. And you'll see that there's more and more stuff that's going to be showing up with that. So, we're happy. And again, we're constantly evolving the system. We're making it better. We're taking input that we get from you and making things better for you. So just remember all of that. And now I want to talk to somebody else who it looks like the whole bottom row is working from the exact same location and sitting in the exact same place. So let's go next to another one of our accuracy gurus, Kyle. What is something in GTO that you find extra special?
Well, I wouldn't say that it would necessarily be a function of the system of GTO, but more so the ability to speak to a team member that allows the system to function. One of my biggest pet peeves talking to any company or trying to get an answer from, let's say, a bank or anything like that, is talking to either a computerized bot or an AI operator. With GTO, you know that when you send in a help desk or send an email, you're going to get connected directly to one of our team members. That's going to take it as high priority and make sure that you get the information that you're requesting, whether it be a concern or portal information, whatever it may be. You just know that the team is there working for you on whatever you're going to need.
Yeah, it's just because we're a technology company doesn't mean that we don't understand, the human touch on that, the relationship building and things like that. That's why we let you create your relationships with vendors, but we house their stuff. You can create your relationships with your passengers, but we house your information. I think that's a great thing. You're right. We are real people in a real world that are here to help you. I think that is awesome. Yeah.
And, Angelica and I say a lot during the demos that you can treat us sort of like we're the back end staff that you have that you can forget about, but we're always here for you. Because, you're talking, you can talk to Kara each week and do office hours. You can talk to any of the sales team. You can talk to our engineers. You can talk to our gurus. You can get in touch with all of us. And we're always going to be here helping you out. It's not one of those that, for the next 3 months, you get access to us. As long as you use our system, you have access to all of us. So, again, we're the back end part of your team that nobody talks about. So
I think it was just last week, Corey and I were in a meeting and I was getting a call on my cell phone from a member. And I was like, this is odd. This never happens. Corey, hang on. And I literally got on my cell phone with a member and put her on speaker, and Corey and I answered her question while we were actually meeting, but answered a member question because I saw her calling. And then Corey, Kara, and I, a couple weeks ago, were at a conference together and also got so many things done for a member at a conference because they asked. So yeah, I love that too. Good point, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So moving right along, let's talk to our engineering department. So Brian, What about you? What excites you about the GTO system?
Well, what excites me is everything that everybody has already said. I mean, it's all stuff that's good and it's great, and it really focuses, kind of on what I really see as one of the best things about GTO, which is the flexibility that our system offers to our membership. We're definitely not a fully customized solution, but we're not just an out-of-the-box system either. The GTO system is extremely flexible to our members' needs and their business processes. Whether it's a branded document template for proposal or a contract, the ability to customize your trip processes, provide a dashboard to display data for your sales team or your operations team, or the ability for even our membership to have input that reshapes and enhances the system, such as with the soon-to-be released final itinerary template language feature. The GT, as I think you said, Jim, the GTO system is really first and foremost a membership-driven software that is designed to be flexible and responsive to the membership's needs. So I want to take this opportunity while I have it to tell the members, and encourage them to keep submitting their feature requests, their process enhancements, keeping in mind that even though they might not get onto our development schedule right away, the more we know, the more input we have on what the membership wants, the more likely it is that request becomes a project for us to address.
Right. It's funny. I think as we start talking to people about that we want their feedback and we want their input, sometimes you get a little bit of an eye roll at that because they don't necessarily believe it to be true. But it is one of those things that, I think the GTO system that we have right now is the way that it is because of our members. It's because of the feedback that we've gotten from our membership that we've got the processes in place that we have. And we're constantly tweaking it because people will come on and say, hey, can it do this? Or have you ever thought about this? Don't ever assume that we've thought about everything because we haven't. So, keep giving us those ideas. It's what keeps us moving. It's what keeps us moving forward, especially. So thank you, Brian. Last but certainly not least is our esteemed director of GTO, Corey Vries. Corey, what is it that excites you? What do you love? What is one of your favorite things about GTO?
Well, it's actually great that I don't have 8 more people on the screen rattling off things that are great about the system, because I would then start to run out of things that are great about the system because they all nailed it on the head. But I'm going to wax a little philosophic about it. My favorite part about GTO is the philosophy that we've taken with GTO. We have decided to shift the paradigm of group travel a little bit into a realm of community instead of just competition. Yeah, you can go ahead and go out there and compete with whomever you'd like as far as getting the trips and getting people on your trips and providing the best quality trips and things of that nature. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, the things that we talked about, like the supplier manager, is guru maintained, but it is culled from hard work and from our members, right? We're pooling together resources that are the same for everybody. Everybody has the same group pricing. And when they don't have group pricing, we separate it out for it's just to be yours. But when we're just talking about normal group pricing, those are things that those companies want as many companies to know as possible. And by everybody contributing to that, we all benefit from it. Every member does. When we talk about flexibility of the system and we say to ourselves, okay, well, I'll suggest this, but maybe it's something that could help a lot of different people do their business better. Because when we're talking about competition in tour operator world, we're talking about trips. We're not talking about whether or not we can build a better way to build our trips in our, it's not about how well you run your company. It's about the product that you provide. And so why not let GTO be a community group that gives you this back end that really makes you efficient, and it can make other people efficient, because you're still wanting to provide the better product, and that's still in your creative hands. So when you submit that help desk request that might get thrown into development for several months, it's going to be helping someone. And when we're talking about the people that you see on the screen right now, I mean, 7 of them are really great. The balding guy with the beard, he's not so hot. But 7 of these guys are the people that you want on your team. And what a great community resource, right? Every member has access to these people, and that's pretty amazing. I don't mind chatting with a bot if my question is really not important, or I just need help doing something. But this is your business we're talking about here, right? You need someone who's live, and these people are knowledgeable, and they're excited about what they're doing. They've fully thrown themselves into the community philosophy. It's the reason we do the things like we don't have to provide a tour director portal, but it benefits group travel in general. It makes it better for everyone. We don't have to provide a community forum, but hopefully one day people are going to gravitate to actually say, I could use some advice here. I need some help. Or, we provide a way for you to search the database so that if you're going to a new city, you don't have to start from scratch. Why not just search dining and Santa Fe and then get some group dining in Santa Fe because you have a group that's going there for the very first time? You can expand your business by saying, hey, I've never gone to Santa Fe, so I won't suggest it, right? By the way, I'm not being paid by the CVB of Santa Fe. But if you've never done an international trip, you're not really sure what to do. So you may not suggest it to somebody, but somebody may want to go. And you're missing out on that business, or they're missing out on that trip, and both are sad. So what you want to do is have the ability to have the supplier database help you, right? And that doesn't happen without our gurus, without our sales, without our onboarding, without our development. And so these people, the community philosophy, I challenge anyone out there to go find a company with that philosophy that gives you this level of service and the quality of product. There is no product like GTO right now on the planet. There are a lot of people that do different parts of what we do, but nobody that does what we do. And that's the part that I think is best about GTO.
I was going to say, man, I standing ovation. So
That's why we left him for last.
Yeah. By the way, that's all I do is talk. So I'm done now. That's all I've got to do today. So,
but there's so much more that we could talk about. There really, really is, because there are a lot of things in GTO that we find extra special. But I think one of the most special parts of GTO is our membership. So all of you out there that are using it, that are talking to us, that are giving us feedback, that are meeting with us at trade shows, that get together and have a drink with us, that goes out for coffee and lunch. All of that stuff is important to us. And we can't thank you enough for being a part of this group travel odyssey. I had to, I'm sorry. So, we thank you for that. And we thank you for tuning in and joining us for Coach and Go, and for Fast Breaks, and for listening to Group Travel Radio. There are a lot of things coming up in 2025 that we're super excited about, that are new and innovative, and we really can't wait to present them to you. As I said earlier, this is our last episode of this year. So next year, we're going to start out with a whole lot of new information. For those of you who are going to ABA Marketplace, the American Bus Association, make sure to visit us. Several of us are going to be there. We're going to be at booth 747. Yes, flying in on a 747. So make sure to visit us. Make sure to ask for an appointment if you've not done so yet. Their appointments are still being scheduled. So we want to see you. We want to spend some time with you. If you have people who are interested in learning more about the system, we also have a referral program. So talk to any of us about that. Bring them over to our booth. we'd be more than happy to talk. Also, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, a fantastic New Year. And we really look forward to continuing our relationship together in the group travel world and continuing to build this amazing group travel community worldwide. We can't do it without you. And we are very thankful to have you as a part of this amazing team. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next year. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.